Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show you a couple of trades that I took yesterday on February 8th. I'm going to show you the full top-down analysis and how I use the DXY to guide me on these trades. So make sure you stay to the end and you catch the whole thing. If you already haven't, definitely hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, so the analysis starts on the daily. Now for those of you that tuned in to yesterday's recap, we had taken a long here. And I told you guys that TP1 would be this high, TP2 would be this high. So that trade ended up going and taking this high out yesterday. So I did the full recap on that. You guys can check it out. The following day, I came into the market and one of two things was going to happen. Either price was going to continue down off this point or price was going to continue up. Now this was a unique scenario because we had a huge discrepancy between the DXY and Euro. And I'm going to show you both charts. So I actually had a sell and a buy this day. I'm going to show you my thought process on both of them. So just before we get going, I want to show you something here. This is the daily high, which would be the daily target. The reason this is the daily target is we had taken out this previous month's low, then we swept the previous day's low once again, which I told you guys in the last video, and then we said this was TP1 and this daily high would be TP2. So with that in mind, we wanted to see this high gone. However, when I came into the market, let me just show you what the DXY looks like. To make things easier, I'm just going to flip the DXY upside down so the chart looks similar. Alright, so you guys can see the daily highs here where I have the red line marked. You also have a market opening gap, which tends to react as well because these are unfilled orders. So because DXY did the task and took the daily high out and Euro didn't, I knew that this was a possible sell zone. So this gave us our DXY divergence number 1. So this session actually gives you 2 divergences. So this one is kind of hard to read. It gave you sell signals and buy signals at certain points of the session. So we ended up taking a sell and a buy. So ultimately we want to see the red line react. It does not reach that point. You could see, however, when the DXY took this daily high out, or daily low in the DXY case, but you can see the reaction we got. We get these momentum candles. So now one of two things is going to happen. Either we protect the buy orders, or protect the sell orders, sorry, which means we do not invalidate this high and this initial reaction holds, or we keep protecting the lows. This was a 1 minute and 5 minute order flow day. Now for a target, I wanted to buy this day because I'm still targeting this daily high. So my ultimate trade is actually down here. What we're actually wanting this day is we're wanting to buy from down here. So OTZ is our order transfer zone. Our lit, which is the liquidity induced trap, is actually here. However, when it gets taken out here and it reacts, at this point, lit transfers to the lowest point, which also creates a set of equals. You have a perfect buildup here that needs to be run. As long as this point doesn't get invalidated, I am willing to buy. So as of right now, my assumption is the buy orders from this point on are being protected, and they're going to be protected at least until this high gets taken out. That's my expectation. In the meanwhile, PA wasn't very clean, so I actually ended up taking a short here. I took a loss on this trade, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. So you can see we kind of respected the sell order liquidity pool here. So as long as this point doesn't get invalidated, we can sell. So I actually ended up putting an order right where these momentum candles are above the liquidity. I covered this high And my expectation was just to come down and take Asia lows. Asia lows are our nearest liquidity. Yes, price goes down there. It takes me out before it does, unfortunately, but the thought process was right, which is totally fine. It happens. So this wasn't going to be like a huge trade for me because the stop was a little larger and the travel distance wasn't really there. Ultimately, price blows through my stop and then goes. So one thing with the market is you get these order pools where there's a set of sell orders that are being protected right now. It does it one of two ways. One, it'll just kind of protect the 1 minute order flow, in which case these highs don't get invalidated. Or two, it creates the equals and it sweeps them and then it goes down. This to me is a valid loss. It's part of the plan. I was wanting to re-execute this when it took me out. So for me to do that, I was wanting price to come back here, and in which case I would have just waited for a reaction. I would have executed. Price did not come back. So we ended up waiting and switching our bias to buys. All right, so we've hit our liquidity pool that we wanted to hit. So this is exactly where we wanted to buy from. Now I want you to look at where price came to. So we took this low out, our lit point. Now look what DXY did at the same point, at the same time. So DXY at this particular moment, actually, let me just go on a smaller time frame so it's easy to see. So this would be this candle here. So you could see the divergence we have here. So this was the candle at the time. So just to make it less confusing. So this is what the DXY did. You can see all this liquidity was not wiped out. Now, if you look at on Euro, all of this liquidity was wiped out. So there's your DXY divergence again. So this is our first clue that this pool of orders could be protected, and this pool of orders lost its protection since it was just temporarily created to take these guys out to continue buys, because ultimately our higher time frame objective is to take the daily out. So with that in mind, I need to see a reaction that convinces me that price is indeed not wanting to go any lower. So I had to kind of stitch some things together here. DXY didn't really help. I do run 2 broker charts when I trade. So I also run the FXCM chart alongside. So this one's actually kind of hard to see it on. I went a little too far. But ultimately, for me, I can begin looking at buys. So again, price comes down, and this is a little later trade. So here we kind of get a couple of range creations and kind of respective order flow. So we get a range, we pull back, we break, we respect the range, and then this is kind of what I'm looking for, is these consecutive momentum candles. I call them vector candles, and essentially none of the previous lows of the previous candle got violated. So this here, between that and the DXY divergence, is now signaling me that this buy pool is indeed protected, and this now lost its protection because it's did its job. So now we can target it. Ultimately, we want price to pull back. And just so you guys know, so our invalidation point for this would be this low. So I can execute anywhere in this range, provided I get my entry trigger. And I just have to understand that this low is my invalidation point. So in this case, I'm just looking for some vector candles out, and I get them here. So I can market execute this, and this is my entry trigger, and I cover the point of invalidation, and we can target the daily high. So ultimately, this ends up taking a bit to get going. Almost takes me out, but keeps me in. And we'll just go to a higher time frame here so you guys can see that it runs to target. It ends up running to target after session, but the thought process was all the same. And once again, we don't have to hold risk at this point. Once we break this high, I break even personally. And ultimately, that was our target. So I might have got in a little bit before because I think I ended up with like 3.9R, but I might have executed just before that third candle closed, which is totally fine as long as you cover your point of invalidation. But yeah, that's the trades that I took yesterday, and I'll be making a recap on the trades I took today and kind of show you how the whole daily thing ties in and how all three of these trades basically started off on the analysis we did down here on the video I posted yesterday. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be doing another recap soon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you in the next one.